Hey, Natsu here. Today I'm going to do part 2 of What if Steven Universe was summoned as the shield hero. A lot of people ask me to make it so that Steven and Raftalia meet, but no, he will not meet her. Because literally what is happening right now in the capital is, well, I'm pretty sure there's only going to be 2 other parts to this, if I count this one in those 2. So, okay. There was only one wave between the heroes arriving and Stephen leaving to get to the Queen's castle. So basically, the king and the princess were already put out of um, royalty for good reasons. So, yeah. And so basically, she decided to. Well, the queen decided to make sure that everyone of them, well, the heroes, would be able to get a lot stronger, a lot faster. Basically, looking at Izuku, she basically gave him the special orbs that basically let you gain new spells automatically. And for him, basically, well, just like Nafumi, his magic is defensive and healing. And since he's already like that, well, he doesn't really need them that much, but still gets them. Also, the church was disbanded because, well, she already didn't like it, and they did summon every hero to them. So, okay, where we are now, the second wave is close. The second wave is basically the one where we meet Glass. After that one, there's another one. Then there's them when they go to the island, where there's another one. There were more in this that we didn't see, if I remember correctly, but those are the one we saw. And so basically what happened is that Steven was always away, just training and trying to control his emotion. He was able to in this world because basically he didn't care if he destroyed this place, since, well, he still wants to help everyone, but he mostly wants to get to be able to kind of go back home as well. So he helps people, but he destroys basically anything that's in his path or where he trains. At one point, the queen decided to ask the other heroes to go get him because she thought they were the only ones that would basically be able to get to him easily without dying. Because at some point they saw one of the place where he trained and it was now a wasteland. Like monsters and stuff like that are gone. Like basically he destroyed an entire forest in a place that was literally unpopulated. And basically she was thinking of asking him to stop destroying that much, but every place where he passes is actually just monsters aren't there. Because after that he was healing the land to make it back normal. So basically it was just once that he didn't do it. And every other place he trained, they just saw that forestation is even better than what it was anywhere else. Because of his healing. Basically, he's killing monsters, taking their body to augment his shield, and passing to the next place. So monsters will go back to those places, but for now they're completely safe of any monsters. Like normal animals are there, but monsters are gone. And they want to go talk to him because the second wave is coming, and well, they just want to make sure he knows that. When they were able to find him, they brought him back. Then the queen basically said that every slave, everything like that were liberated. Every demi-human were sent back to the village where they're demi-human. The king of that place that was basically just selling demi-human and using them as laboring tool was beheaded because, well, he was just put there by King Trash because, oh, he doesn't like demi-human and he's going to sell them. Good. So basically that. And so pretty much Raftalia doesn't see Steven ever because, well, she's sent back to that place where basically everyone that was there got healed or saved. Everyone that was still alive, at least. And since this is early, most of the people that died just because Naofumi arrived late didn't die from that. So that's the reason he doesn't meet Raftalia. The reason he doesn't meet Philo is just because, well, someone else bought her, and that person went away. So basically, he's never going to meet any of those two. Motoyasu once decided to try and fight Midoriya a second time, thinking since basically because he went and just overtrained with his anger spear. I think I said that he got it, but if I didn't say it, he gained it when they fought the first time. He overtrained with that. He is getting cursed, but he doesn't. Well, he does know it, but basically he just gets holy water from the church and heal it. The problem is that he does still keep some of the damage, which is just getting healed over time. But he still wants to fight with Steven more. Like, saying, this time I'm going to beat you on my own term. With the two heroes, the other heroes that decide to say, okay, yeah, but we're going to go somewhere else because in the castle it might be dangerous. So basically, all four heroes go out of the city to a certain place. They bring one of the crystal balls that let everyone else in the city see it, and they start. And basically, the moment Motoyasu goes all out with his rage shield, he gets put in a bubble by Steven, and basically just Steven tells him, try as you might, those bubbles are almost unbreakable. With Motoyasu basically trying his best to do anything, using practically every special move he could use, but it doesn't even work. on Steven because or he jumps way too high for anything to hurt him, or the shield, well, the bubble blocks it. So Motoyasu, after a bit, Izuku basically, not Izuku, Steven basically makes a wall um, from the new kind of shields he got, which are basically like um, just a facet with six side, and those are pretty hard to break when he decides to go all out. And then he basically kicks. Well, no, he basically pushes Motoyasu on a rock and tells him, "You lost. It's all over." With Motoyasu getting angry because it's Motoyasu. He still wants to be stronger than everyone because he thinks he's the best, because the spear is the best weapon, blah blah blah, and that Steven just has the shield. So his rage keeps building up, and then Steven basically smashes his head on the rock, just knocking him out, not hitting strong enough to break him. And then he basically puts saliva on one of his finger and mm, touch Motoyasu with it, which heals him. With Motoyasu saying, "Wait, normally I get cursed when I use that." But him being totally healed because of Steven. Steven basically says, "You saw the battle. Well, you saw I'm stronger than you. I didn't even get serious in there." Which does make um, Motoyasu even more angry. But then they say, well, the spear and the sword guy tells them that they have to go prepare because their next raid is tomorrow. Wave, I mean. So they go back to town, they relax there until the next day. The next day, when the wave starts, basically, the moment they arrive there, everyone is told go protect civilians, and then they say to the poor hero, go destroy the boss. So they go there. After a bit of the three others trying to destroy uh, to beat the ways in the ways that they think will make the boss come, Steven basically just looks around and literally just tells them jump off the ship. And little when they ask what, he basically says jump off the ship, which they basically do because what the hell does he want to do? He jumps in the air, basically making the same attack that shattered Jasper, and well, making it a lot bigger, basically big enough to destroy the entire ship, and just crash it down on it, breaking the shit out of it. The boss comes out with just enough HP to still be alive, and then Glass arrives saying, "Wow, you really are strong, shield hero." Basically, the three others saying, "What do you want?" Then her saying that she wants to kill them, explaining a bit of the reason. Then Motoyasu, Ren, and the other guy going to attack her. They're stronger than in the original, but they're still no match for her. And then Steven basically just goes pink form, which allows him to go a lot faster. Gets behind her, sees the weapon, grabs it, and basically makes a bubbler on it before throwing it away, and then gives her a hit in the back and stop being pink, basically allowing time to run back normally for everyone, with her basically getting launched as far as possible. So she looks at them and saying, "How did you do that?" And seeing her weapon away and basically going to try and get it back. With Steven going back, well, he is still in his pink form, just not using it to go fast. Then he just accelerates, grabs it, bring it away from her, and saying, "Tell me what you really want. If because if you just want to kill us, you're going to die." And yeah, she doesn't die because she's able to get away, but she lost her weapon, and Steven keeps it in a bubble with him. So he always has it with him, basically, in a small bag, because he cannot use it. Like in my Rimuru, what if I said that Rimuru was able to use the spear that he kind of copied? But that's because Rimuru is literally a slime that if he wants to, he could separate his body into two different parts and can absorb pretty much any damage and is immune to any kind of physical damage practically. So the the shock that is given by the weapons to try and make you stop using anything else basically doesn't work on him. So if he wanted to, he could have used any weapon. But now we're talking about Steven. Steven cannot use more than just shields, so he cannot use that weapon. So after that happened, he was walking back to everyone and saw a small animal that was basically, it was kind of like a sheep or something like that. It was, he thought it was still alive, but it was dead. He basically used his saliva to try and heal it. It brought it back to life, but pink. The queen and everyone else were basically looking at him and asking him what he just did. And he said, "Oh, I guess I brought it back." Then he looked at the weapon. Everyone was like, "Wait, that's a not well, one of the other kind of weapons, because there's the weapon that the heroes have, but there's also four other weapons that are for each world, and those weapons are basically like weaker version of the sacred weapon, but have basically the same capacities. He basically looked at the sheep and was thinking, wait, if I just did that. Then he took the bubble and basically entered in it. He looked around to see if he could see other trees or stuff like that, because he thought, wait, that might be my way of getting back to my world. And looking around, he doesn't see anything. I'm going to state it outright. Yes, it does connect the two. The problem is that it is a massive distance away. Like, it would take Steven probably an hour of walking normally, so problem, since he needs to breed. Or if he uses pink form, to go fast, it would take him like 4 or 5 going in the right direction, but he doesn't know which direction, so he's probably never going to use it. I'm just saying that what I'm telling is that he has a pocket dimension, he could go back to his will, but he doesn't know he can. So basically, he put the weapon there and went back out. They asked him what it was, and basically he said that from his world he has a lion and also a human. That basically the lion was his mother's, but the human it was from him. If an animal die and that he kills them and that it does bring them back, what happened is that it gives them some powers. I don't know for Lars if he can do that, but Lion can lance a scream that creates basically a portal. He is a lot tougher than normal animals and more resistant. They can live a lot longer because their metabolism is basically slowed down by hundreds. Like when Steven was listening to Lars's heartbeat, it was basically 1 beat per minute. When normally per minute you can have a lot of them, so think of it like that. The amount of beats of heartbeat you normally have before you die, he would have that, but for the amount of minutes he would live instead. That makes a massive amount of time. Um, okay, so she explained them completely, basically the ability, the things I said before, but I'm sure that I'm forgetting some. So yeah. So after she basically lost her weapon, she went back to her world and told the side guy that well what happened, which he was pretty impressed that the shield hero name is Steven Universe. Well, yeah, was strong enough to beat her, fast enough to go to beat her without her even seeing him, and capable of taking away his weapon. Well, her weapon. So that happened. So this was part 2 of What If Steven was summoned as the shield hero. Now he has basically some kind of weird sheep. Basically, it's more like a monster that will listen completely to Steven. It basically has, well, wool, the same kind of wool cloth. Well, he will have. It looks like a sheep, but it basically has claws, um, teeth that can bite, that are made to eat meat, and is pretty fast as well. So it's basically made to attack and is controlled completely by Steven. So yeah, hope you liked it. Leave a like, and yeah, Natsu out.